Hey UK DCers, today we've got the full review of this, which is the U1 from Fällkniven, or Fällkniven, I think it's pronounced something like that. This goes for £186.50 or more depending on where you shop, and it's all made in Sweden. Box tells you literally everything you need to know. Steel, what the handle's made out of, hardness, how to contact them, their design philosophy. Oh, you get yourself your warranty there, and even a little authenticity badge, which you can scratch off and check to make sure you haven't got a fake one from China. I think I'm fine. So anyway, onto the actual knife here. There it is. Action is very pleasant. There's no real snap open, but the close is very nice. It's about a 200 gram open and a 400 gram close for what that's worth, so not a hard use knife, but it certainly holds the blade in place. Washers on this thing are an ultra thin Teflon affair. If I can find myself this torch. Yeah, you can sort of see them there, and they spin around, and there's a flat bit on those that's supposed to stay at the top to contact the spring, but it doesn't, and it's a whole mess, and they're annoying, but they do work quite well. I do find myself wishing that they had gone with the phosphor bronze rather than the Teflon they've gone with here. Pivot on this is, it's all Torx. It's a T15 for this one, and then two T5s for that, which is very odd, but certainly does the job. The Cocobolo wood on the scales is, just ignore this, that was me putting something on it on my pocket, is absolutely gorgeous. Just look at that. I'm a huge fan of that, like the deep, rich, different colours. Yeah, that is just absolutely, like, it is a shame about that, really. I'll have to polish that out maybe, but yeah, really, really nice wood on that. The liners here, or the scales, I guess, or whatever, they're made out of the 420J2, and you can see it's got a lovely brushed finish, which you can just kiss goodbye, because it's just going to eat up your fingerprints. They're going to be on there forever. No way about it, sadly. This knife is an absolute fingerprint magnet, so just, I guess, know that. You do get yourself a lanyard hole. As you can see, I've added a little leather thing here just to yank it out of my pocket easier. And the grip on this is something I was honestly quite apprehensive about. It looks like it's going to be woeful, but yeah, it's just two steel slabs. The idea isn't exactly selling me, but they have chamfered and smoothed it in such a way that it's really pretty good. It's never going to be a hard use knife at this size either, so for general usage, I've got to say the design works perfectly. It's totally ambidextrous, no clip of course, and the nail nick is on both sides of the blade. Fit and finish is good, although there is some minor gapping just at the top here. You can see at the bottom it's really nice and tight, and just ignore that, that was me. Really nice and tight, but then as you get to the top, there's just a tiny little bit of gapping on each side, and you need that. If you tighten this up so it looks like this, the blade spring actually gets gets caught in between the scales, and you'll like close it like that, and it will just get stuck like that, so it won't snap back to there. It will just stay out like that, which is unacceptable, and it won't snap closed either. So you do unfortunately need to have this undone a tiny little bit, which yeah, that sucks a little bit. The other thing is the edge. Now you can see I've already fixed it here. There you go. But the pictures that should be on screen right now, you can see, yes, less than perfect. When I got it, it's a little bit wonky on one side, and for £186, sort of expecting better, to be honest. But it's an easy enough fix. It's just, you know, annoying for the price. The spring terminates well. You can see there, it's like a nice finish. The wood's all nice. The liners are fine. There was a little smudge on the end of this blade that I was worried about, but as you can see, that is completely gone. So I don't know what that was. Just that's how easy it just picks up fingerprints. This is Jesus. So the blade is made out of 3G, which is a laminate. So very much like this. You can see you've got the Damascus outer layer and then VG10 inner layer, and you can see where that Damascus layer stops. And it's basically a sandwich, so you can see just here, you can see that sandwich more clearly. And you can see you've got the Damascus outer layer and you've got the harder VG10 inner layer, which is actually useful for cutting, whereas that isn't. And I suspect that's because the inner layer of this, obviously that's the inner layer and that's the outer layer. You can sort of see it on there as well. Is so brittle, so they need the outer layer to even that out a bit, I would imagine. But yeah, it's just means you've got a different steel sandwiched in the middle. I read that it's similar in performance to S35VN, and that seems accurate to me. I have used and abused this thing, and got to be honest, it's still pretty good. If I can get myself. You can see it's not super. Oh, maybe something got dinged in the middle there. There you go. So certainly it does need a strop, but it's still cutting fine at least. The little writing that you do get on the blade is U1 Fällkniven 3G steel, and I thought that was just sort of etched on, like just like a printed on kind of thing, but it is like properly laser etched in there. So you know, that's better than I thought it was going to be. You do get yourself a sharpening choil here, which is nice, and although you don't get a finger choil, you do get a little bit of tang there just to stop the blade from cutting your finger, just that much. It's not going to stop it if it really jerks, though. You're going to slip off of that onto the blade. So you can also see that the blade actually picks up scratches quite badly. They don't sharpen all lights, like, you know, it looks fine, but when you really do get up close, you can absolutely see just, again, you have to pick it up in the right light, but you can see that this thing just gets, there you go, absolutely battered. So if you're someone that likes to keep it nice, maybe not one to take near cardboard, because it will suffer it, sadly. But you know, there you go. And the other thing is, there is some really, there you go, you can just see that there's that much side-to-side play. It is very minor, but it is there. So if you're a stickler about that, that's something to be aware of as well. So let's break out a little size comparison here. Got a UK PK there, and you can see it's certainly smaller than these ones here. Got a 940 as well, and the Buck 110. This has been on my to buy and review list basically since I started. It just looks quite odd. £186 is a lot of money for odd. It is a good odd now that I have one, though. It follows their design philosophy, which I can respect, which is the sort of that there, where they're trying to go with, you know, quality rather than speed of production. So I can respect that. This is very clearly a function over form kind of affair, although they have given some thought to form, but it's, you know, definitely does look weird still. That said, at £186 it is commonplace to do both function and form quite heavily, so you know, it's one of those, whatever you think of it, it certainly is unique. At least it's not really an aggressive looking knife, and at the size, I mean, we go inches here. Have changed the battery. You're clocking in at a cutting edge of about 2.3 with an entire edge, like blade length, of 2.5. I mean, the whole thing open is less than 6 inches, so it's not a super aggressive thing, and that's a good option for UK EDC. I think you know, it's very, you know, wood always helps disarm people for some reason. It just looks, you know, vintage rather than I guess like a hinderer or something. Oh, there we go. That's what I was looking for. Yeah, which is quite modern and aggressive, and this is very, you know, nice and just looks bushcrafty, I guess. You know, I found a certain joy in using it and admiring the beautiful wooden scales whenever I pull it out of my pocket. I still think it's quite expensive, but I don't regret buying it. It's a lovely little knife that easily hides away in a coin pocket. And yeah, if you don't like the coin pocket idea, it also does, by the way, come with this, which can just go on your belt that way or that way. I just haven't needed to use this. It's quite small because obviously it only fits this. I have been using the MKM because it does perfectly fit in there as well, and you can just put that in there and yoink it out. But that's there if you don't have that. And my only issue with this is that every time you get your knife out, you're gonna make that noise. So I think they could have done better on this. I maybe use the magnet on this, I guess. But yeah, if you're on the fence about it, I really enjoyed using this one. I think this was quite a pretty knife. The action is really nice on it. It's a lovely thing to use and fidget with. Just if you are going to hard use it, well, I say hard use it, if you are going to use and abuse it, it will pick up scratches, absolutely. And my biggest worry is those Teflon washers that just spin out of place, but it's been fine, and I have really been using this thing, so. But yeah, there you go, the Fällkniven U1. Cheers for watching.